Hello and welcome back to Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. Today we're going to go over a review of Penelope Havana. This is a little hard to get, but I did get a bottle and wanted to share that with you guys and do a couple of cocktails. Stay with me as we check this whiskey out and see how good it is. Hello and welcome back to Ask Alan About Low Carb Cocktails. Today, this whiskey that we're going to look at, it's called the Penelope Havana. Let me read through this, make sure I get this right, but this is something that is part of their Cooper series. It's finished in Caribbean Rum Barrels, and then it has a secondary finish of maple syrup barrels. I wasn't sure if I was going to really like this because I usually go for lower sugar things, and if the maple syrup barrels adds a bunch of sweetness, that's not typically what I like. But the reason that I got this and had to make sure I get it is I grew up in Havana. Okay, well, it wasn't Havana, Cuba. It was Havana, Illinois. But it was still Havana. And what I wanted to do was to check this out. And if it's good, I wanted to take a bottle of it with me next time we have a class reunion and share it with my classmates. So hold out and see if you're one of my classmates and you happen to be viewing this. We may be trying some Penelope Havana whiskey at our next reunion. So let's check this out. And I've already opened it up and poured this to let it breathe a little bit. This has a 93 proof, which is 46.5% alcohol. Again, it's finished in a Caribbean rum barrel, and then the final finish is in a maple syrup barrel. Penelope does not make their own whiskey. They source that. Don't know for sure where it's sourced from, possibly from MGP, but they pick their barrels and then use those, and they've been doing a very good job of doing different finishes. Some people like them, some people don't, but they are decent. I've tried a little bit of their offerings, and have a few that I haven't tried yet. But I had to get this one out of the way, just because, as I mentioned, I'm from Havana in Illinois, and that is something that I'm wanting to just see how good this is. So let me check this out. So on the nose, I do get some molasses, maybe some banana, a little bit of brown sugar. I kind of smell a little bit of the maple. It's not overbearing though, which would be good because I don't really want an overbearing maple taste. And of course, you smell the whiskey. Smell a little bit of oak. But let's see what we get when we taste this. Definitely a little bit of a sweet taste, not over the top, but definitely has some sweetness to it. And usually, second or third sip is where you can taste more of the flavors. And you want to do that. They call it the Kentucky Chew, kind of rolling that around in your tongue, trying to get more of the taste buds covered. But Yeah, I definitely I do taste the maple syrup taste in there, not overbearing, but a little bit. Uh, some brown sugar, I think. Um, I don't not a lot, but I do taste a little bit of the rum. Get some oak. I get like a sweet fruit, maybe a cherry. I think I saw someone saying that they got the apricot. So maybe that's what you'll get. I don't, it's not really apricot for me. I think it's more of a cherry, but kind of a stone fruit type of thing. Um, Maybe some allspice. There's a lot of flavor in this. It's an amazing amount of flavors. Uh, if you just like straight bourbon or whiskey, um, this may not be for you, but it's got a little bit of sweetness, not too sweet. It's got a good proof point. It's right up there at 93 proof. Um, Oddly, I think proof is only used in the United States or in North America, and other parts of the world only just put the percent alcohol on their bottles. So we're a little bit out of that. Why do we choose proof when all it is doubling the percent alcohol? I don't know, but makes it sound like it's more, I guess. So I would say this is really good. It does. I can still taste it on my tongue even after sitting here and talking, blathering on a bit. But it does have a longer finish. Some caramel notes I'm getting in that. Definitely the maple syrup, the sweetness. It definitely is sticking to the tongue, and it's sticking to the sides of the glass. So that's even even now I still see a kind of a rim and slowly coming down on the glass. So definitely has good legs. So I don't think that anyone that would gets a hold of this would not like it. Um, Different people will have different palates. Some people just can't stand any sweetness. Um, I I don't mind a little bit of sweetness. I prefer not to have a sweeter um, spirit. And then the sweetness comes from the things that are added in your cocktails. But this, just as it sips pretty well. And hopefully we can do a couple cocktails here. I looked up on their website and checked some things out online to kind of come up with a couple cocktails. And we're going to try those now and see how well those come out. So again, Penelope Havana, which is a rum cask and maple syrup cask or barrel finish. Uh, we are going to do two cocktails. And the first one is what was called a Penelope Havana Old Fashioned. Now that's going to have the not much in there. It's just the, the whiskey, a little bit of maple syrup, and some bitters. So we'll start that here in a old-fashioned glass. You'll want to have what you're going to measure this with. There it is. I was pretty sure I put it over here, and don't want to waste what's in here. So we'll go with 2 ounces of the whiskey. And to that, we will add just a bar spoon of maple syrup. And I will, because I'm diabetic and this is low carbs, we are going to use a sugar-free, low-calorie syrup, but it's Maple Grove, so it's artificial maple flavor, unfortunately. But the point is that in a 2 tablespoons, there's only 3 grams. So in this bar spoon, that's going to be less than a sixth of that. So maybe a half a gram of carbs. But so we'll put that in there. Normally in an old fashioned, you're going to put some sweetener of some sort, either sugars or simple syrups or something. But in this case, we're going to just use a bar spoon of the sugar-free maple syrup. And then they call for 2 to 3 dashes of barrel-aged bitters. And I got this Fee Brothers whiskey barrel-aged bitters, which I think will be perfect for this. And I'll just go with about 2, because I don't want to overwhelm the taste of the whiskey. And then we will add an ice ball. Stir chill. And you can, if you wish, add an orange slice for garnish. I often don't do that, but let's taste it. And if I decide that it still needs that orange, I have some dehydrated oranges I can put in there. That's pretty good. But just for sake of argument, let me grab a dehydrated orange and put that in there. So I changed my mind about the dehydrated orange, and instead I have some orange peel that I'd taken off of some oranges we had. Because what you really want to do if you use an orange peel is you want to express that over the drink, and often people will rub the edge of the glass, and then you'll put that in for the garnish, and that way it gets some more of the oils into the drink. And that does help the drink a little bit. It's not necessary. Orange is usually pretty good in an old fashioned, and this one has the maple, which adds a little bit of sweetness. So that is a pretty good drink. So I think you'll enjoy that. Next, we're going to try something that is actually called a daiquiri old fashioned. So I'm back now. We will do the daiquiri old fashioned, and you make that in a shaker. So I've got ice in one half of this, and we'll mix the drink here. This has 1 ounce of the Penelope Havana bourbon. And then 1 ounce of rum. And just use a light rum. I like this Don Q. It's a white rum. It's relatively inexpensive. It does have a little bit of rum funk, so I like it better than Bacardi. Their white rum they really filter it a lot, so you don't get any of the rum funk in Bacardi, but you do get a little bit in Don Q. So we'll do 1 ounce of that. And it calls for a ½ ounce of simple syrup. And as I've shown you in other videos, I do make my own simple syrup with Splenda. So ½ ounce. And I think it's just a ½ ounce because you don't want to go too overboard with sweetness, because you already do have a sweetness in the whiskey. And then 2 dashes of lime bitters. I just don't have lime bitters, so I do have some lime juice that I previously squeezed. So we will just put a little bit of lime. That's probably a couple, same as a couple dashes of lime bitters. I'll have to get some lime bitters. That's something I never really had because I just use lime juice typically. And then a lime wedge, and I also have some dehydrated lime. So I'll just use that since it's just a garnish. And then we shake that. And you shake it just to chill. And it does say it wants you to squeeze the lime into there. So I did put a little bit of lime for bitters, but instead of the bitters. But if I want to squeeze a wedge, you're going to get a little bit more juice. So we'll just do that way. And then shake that. And you want to shake it until you're seeing some frost on the outside of your shaker. I do like the Boston shakers better than the other kind. I think it does a better job. And then you have to have a Hawthorne strainer to strain that out. But I prefer this, just a better type of a shaker. And then you will strain that in a coupe glass. And then we have the dehydrated lime for the garnish. And there you have a daiquiri old fashioned with the Penelope Havana bourbon and Don Q Cristal rum. That's pretty good. If you're into daiquiris, this is not as sweet. I think that the whiskey taste kind of brings the sweetness you normally find in a daiquiri down a little bit. So you might want to put a little more simple syrup if you prefer a sweeter daiquiri. But this is pretty good, and I think that it's something you'll enjoy. So there you have it. That's the Penelope Havana bourbon and 2 different drinks that I made. One is the maple old fashioned, and the other is daiquiri inspired old fashioned. I hope you'll be able to find this bottle. It's difficult to find, but it is actually pretty good, and it's something I think that you'll enjoy. If not, and if you're a member of my high school class, next reunion, I'll try to bring a bottle back, and we'll share this. So for the rest of you, go out, try to find it. And if you can't, then there's other products Penelope has, and I've tried them all, but I've tried some, and what I've tried I like. But definitely take a look and see if you can find them. Try these 2 cocktails if you get this, or if you don't, then you can make it with other lighter whiskeys. You don't want to have a heavier, stronger whiskey, but Penelope is more on the light side. And go ahead and try these and see what you think. Definitely let me know what you think of this video, of other videos that I've done, and give me some feedback. Definitely like and subscribe, because that helps get the numbers up so that the algorithm pushes it out to more people. But also share this with your friends so that they can find out how to make lower carb cocktails and hear about some of the different spirits that I'm reviewing. But beyond that, next week, I think that what I'm going to do is a video where I'm not making any cocktails. I'm just going over some lower cost spirits that you might want to have in your bar. So come back and join me for that. And definitely make sure that you click the subscribe and the like buttons and share this with people and comment, because the comments help me to know what you like and don't like, and help me to do this a little bit better. I've only been at this for a short time. I'm trying to learn. So if you can help me learn, then I appreciate that greatly. So with that said, have a good day and have a very safe week.